Yeah, tribe up, tribe up. Welcome to the House of Cons on Black Jack. We back one more time. Salute to everybody in the house, man. Salute to Joseph Thomas. Joseph say he here for it. Hey, salute the Quiet Storm Sean. Salute the Monaga. Salute the 203 Low Gang in the house. Tribe up. Salute.
Boom shakalaka.
We got another good one lined up. Another good one lined up, man. You know, because over here, hey, we just rely on the facts. All we be doing is reading and studying. You got people in their feelings. It's okay, though. Calm down. Take a deep breath. It's just history we talking. We talking not the history, salute. And in particular, we talking Indian Territory again. Taft, Oklahoma, my nigga. We're talking about the town of Taft now. Hey, everybody do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe, and share the video, man. If you're new to the house, man, make sure you subscribe. Salute. Unless of course, you a Dogs Roll Indian.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make changes.
You Dogs Roll Indians, you ain't gotta subscribe. I already know you Dogs Roll $5 fakers in here hitting the thumbs down. I've been looking at my analytics. I know what's going on. But we talking Indian Territory again, Monaga, Taft, Oklahoma. And I'm feeling better than that. Last night I apologize. I had a sore throat. I had to go get me some throat lozenges. Feeling a whole lot better tonight, y'all. Salute. Tribe up. I'm here flexing muscles. Let me stop being silly though. We finna get into the show. We talking Taft, Oklahoma. I know y'all heard of Taft. I told y'all we finna dwell on Indian Territory. We finna go on it on the line. We finna break it down, all the way down, like it's never been broke down before. And we gonna go town by town of the stronghold of the Negro, man. Cause everybody need to know. Indian Territory is the ghetto. Ghetto. Yeah, Indian Territory is the ghetto. Man, you up in the hood talking about Indian Territory. That's how I know it ain't no red man up in there.
Sit your $5 ass down before I
talking
make
about changes. They red. Talking about they painted themselves black. We gonna start this show off right in Indian Territory fashion, like we've been doing the last several episodes, by letting everybody know what time it is. We're looking at the newspaper on Ancestry, the Black Indians, the grandfather clause of Oklahoma. The wealthy Negroes are denied the right to franchise by act of the new state of Oklahoma, the largest Negro population in the Creek Nation. And we know, but we gotta remind everybody every single episode for the next I don't know how many episodes, that the blackest spots was towns like Grayson, Wildcat, you know what I'm saying, Taft. And at Wildcat, just like in Taft and other places, white men are warned to depart before sundown, or else it was dangerous for a pale face. This entire community of Negroes, not freemen, just Negro Indians, Creeks. They weren't freemen. If they was free slaves, what would the masters be? But this entire community of Negroes numbered probably 15,000 souls. It was here that occurred the Henrietta Race War and the Crazy Snake Rebellion, the last of which was heralded in the summer of 1900 as a big Indian war in the all-Negro town. Salute the all-Negro town, Indian Territory, Oklahoma. Setting the record straight. Setting the record straight for these pale-faced and these fake red men, dog roll $5 Indians. The Negroes in the Creek Nation. Yeah, that's what we talking about here. And let's keep it moving, because we finna get into Taft and remind everybody when we talking Indian Territory, talking Oklahoma. And we right now we focusing on the Creek Nation. We got nations all over the place in here, but we gonna focus on the Creek right now. And we gonna get there everywhere else, because it's knockers there. It's little nigglets all over the place.
Darkness, everybody! Everyone! Darkness is spreading!
We talking about the Muskogee Creek Territory. And right over there, we know when we go back to our other map, because all these maps is our maps. Ain't nobody else over here. These are our maps. You know what I'm saying? You got to speak it like it is. This is our shit. Little fake red man, get your ass on. This is our shit. You're not a Negro. The historic all-black towns of Oklahoma. And right over there, in Muskogee Creek Nation territory, the Zulu Nation, nope, the Creek Nation. We got Grayson. We got Taft right there. We got Redbird. We already talked about Redbird. We already talked about Grayson, which is really Wildcat, you know, where they told the white men to get out of Dodge or else before the sun go down.
Boom
We got
shakalaka.
Taft right up the road. Right up in the ghetto. Ghetto. Got one foot in, one foot out of the ghetto. Hey, that's my shit, y'all, right there. That old Goody Mom, that's my shit back in the day. But we in the ghetto. We talking Taft, Oklahoma, right over there in the Muskogee Creek Nation. And I'm just connecting these dots over and over again for a reason, because I'm gonna make sure everybody memorize this stuff. I'm gonna make sure you don't even have to think about it. Because why Indian territories, all black towns prospered, while most of Oklahoma territory faded away? Why did the all Neglit towns prosper, while everyone else faded away? We know why. We know exactly why.
Darkness, everybody! Everyone! Darkness is spreading!
We know exactly why. Because you're the stronghold of the Neglit, and we the majority, especially in Indian territory. Why Indian territories, all black towns prospered? Yeah, all Negro towns prospered. Yeah, because they were wealthy Negroes denied the right of franchise by the act of the new state of Oklahoma. These Negroes was there before Oklahoma was even a state. Oklahoma became a state in 1907. The Neglets was there since the beginning of time. And you want to know why the Indian territories Indians prospered, while most of Oklahoma territory. See, y'all not gonna start it was they told you all about Tulsa. They give you that one because they knew they blew it up. They wanted to brag about that one. They wanted to brag right. Yeah, we blew that bitch up. The devil wanted to say he blew it up. Yeah, they want to make you think it was just a coinky dink. A few nigglets made it in Indian territory and just happened to become millionaires in Tulsa, and the government blew it up. They wanted you to think that was just some kind of coinky dink. That was a needle in the haystack, but you didn't know the whole damn Oklahoma was all black and Indians, and they was rich. It wasn't just Tulsa, it was Taft too. And these all Naga towns prospered, while everybody else faded away as they should. Between the end of the Civil War 150 years ago, and we're gonna know that we understand that they're gonna call us African Americans, they're gonna call us blacks and Negroes. We know what we're talking about right here though. 150 years ago, until the height of Jim Crow in the early 20th century, so-called African Americans, really Creek, Muskogee Indians, and other Indians established more than 50 all-black towns across the state. Some lasted only a few years, but a handful of them still exist today. In 2000, Oklahoma Historical Society Director of Special Projects Larry Odell wrote that so-called African Americans, really Creek, Negro, rich Negro Indians, built prosperous farming communities in both the Indian and Oklahoma territories before it became a state, before statehood. What would an African be doing in Oklahoma on Indian territory before statehood? Before it was even Oklahoma. And they supported businesses, schools, newspapers, and churches. In these towns, these Negro Indians lived free from the prejudices and brutality found in other racially mixed communities of the Midwest and the South. Negro Indians in Oklahoma and Indian territories. Look at that. Don't that sound much more correct? Negro Indians in Oklahoma and Indian territories, not African Americans. The term didn't even exist. Negro Creeks in Oklahoma and Indian territories would create their own communities for many reasons. Escape from discrimination and abuse would be an important driving factor. All black settlements, not a red man in sight, not a fake $5 pale face wannabe, not in sight. All Negro settlements, all Indian, all real Indians settlements offered the advantage of being able to depend on other Indian neighbors for financial assistance and of having open markets for crops. You know, the indigenous American crops that the Indians knew all about. Arthur Tolson, the pioneering historian of Indians in Oklahoma, asserts that many Indians turned to ideologies of economic advancement, self-help, and racial solidarity. Today, only a handful of these towns survive, since many failed in the 20s and 30s. The Great Depression forced residents to leave the South in search of jobs. Or like, you think that wasn't done intentionally? They was rich. How they was leaving the South looking for jobs? On June 30th, the Oklahoma Historical Society hosted a panel discussion about the history of these towns and the few that remain. Black, they want you to forget about them. They don't want to talk about the history. Indian. They do not want to talk about the real history of Indian territory, and that's why we gonna do it. We don't need their panel. We gonna do it. Black towns then, black towns now feature not no mixture of black town government representatives and scholars. They talk about some kind of, they always talk about a mixture when it comes to you. Like retired East Central University historian Linda Reese, attorney and author Hannibal Johnson, Grayson Mayer, James Anderson, Rentisville Mayor Mildred Burkhalter, these cocksucking Caucasoids, Europeans, and the town of Langston trustee Alonzo Peterson also participated in the panel discussion moderated by State Representative George Young, Oklahoma. Black towns in Indian Territory versus Oklahoma Territory. When Oklahoma became a state, why ain't talking about red towns? Because it ain't none. You fake ass red man. I know you in here watching. Go ahead and hit the dislike like you've been doing on my other videos, you bitch. When Oklahoma became... Let me start. I told y'all in the class. How you be the teacher and the class clown? That's what my students used to be saying. Hey, Maxine Cross in the house. Tribe up, salute. Boom, shakalaka. Old Breeze in the house, salute. Ron Flat, Power God in the house, salute. Monaga. Hey, my students used to be like, how the hell you the teacher and a clown? Class clown. I say, bitch, because I'm versatile. What kind of teacher be roasting the students? You know what I'm saying? Well, back to the lesson. When Oklahoma became a state, November 16, 1907, officials held a ceremonial marriage between Cherokee Nation's citizens, Miss Leo Bennett of Muskogee, who represented Indian Territory in the eastern half of the present-day footprint of the state, and Oklahoma City business and civic leader C.G. Jones, who stood for Oklahoma Territory, made up of the unassigned lands opened for settlement in 1889. And several other Indian tribes not included under the five civil. Look at that, see? Was it the five civilized tribes? Nope. It was a tribe that was not included on the Dawes Rolls. It was the several other Indian tribes not included on the five civilized tribes, not the friendly fake Indians. But where did that ceremonial marriage between a white settler and a Native American leave blacks? Look at that. See y'all trickery? See, here's the trickery of the hijack. We're talking about an all-black town. I'm talking about an all-black town now. The all-Negro Indian town. They want to look how they slang around the term Native American now, huh? They just left out Indian. Now it's Native American. I thought we ain't talking about Native American territory. I thought we were talking about Indian territory. You see, they play word games with us, right? Like we not keeping score, but we are, and we winning. But attorney and author Hannibal Johnson says more black towns in Indian territory survive into the present day because most were founded by. Look, here's the hijack. Here's the why they gotta explain you. Because most were formed by freemen, former slaves who benefited from their relationship with powerful native tribes. These were the powerful native tribes. These were the powerful native tribes. What are you fucking talking about? That's why we bring these images. By the way, this thumbnail we're looking at from a third eye point of view. We got a little nigglets on top of the Oklahoma Territory now. Salute,
Darkness, everybody, darkness.
Never-headed nigglets. So we're not even hearing you talking about freemen and former slaves. We know why they're there. We know that they are the powerful native tribes who received access to land during the early 20th century allotment process. We know who we are. Some of the tribes, for example, the Muskogee Creek. Yeah, that's what we're talking about today. There was a system of land ownership called usufructuary, meaning that you were entitled to live on and use the land that you needed, basically, although you did not have clear title to that land. You see how they stole your land? You see how they did it? Now they was calling your land unsettled access to land. Unsettled. They calling your shit since you looked at it like the tribe got used to the land, but nobody owned it. The government looked at your shit as unassigned lands, open for settlement in 1889. But you looked at it as you ain't on the land owns you, meaning that you were entitled to live on and use the land that you need. Basically, although you did not have clear title to the land, Johnson said. So a lot of Creek Indians, not African Americans, we're talking about the Muskogee Creek Nation. So a lot of people, a lot of nigglets, descendant, living amongst or affiliated in some way with the tribes, gained access to land, and around that land they built these towns. They're not affiliated somewhere. These are the tribes, you idiot. See, these modern day historians writing these articles, they was not even living at the time. They trying to figure out why all these nigglets are there. So they interpreting it. They using conceptual thinking, and they throwing in words. Yeah, so we assume that a lot of these African descent. Yeah, they was nigglets. You want to call them African descent? These is Indians, Creek Indians.
Darkness, everybody! Darkness is spreading! Another secret.
The real Indians. Johnson also said tensions developed between people of so-called African descent with Native American connections. So-called nigglets who had Native American connections. These are just Indians. And those who had migrated from the Deep South to escape political oppression. He described the differences as petty personality squabbles, mainly over attitudes. Those people with Indian ancestry thought that the people coming from the Deep South were too servile because they had been conditioned to act at the behest of the white man. So we had some sellout niggas. Some sellout niggas. And the Creek niggas were like, man, you niggas sell out. They got y'all thinking y'all Africans. You sell out Pan-African booty scratcher, peanut butter pan sandwich ass nigga, Dr. Umar looking ass nigga. The Creeks went to roasting their ass. Johnson also said that the proximity of towns like Boley, Clearview, Taft, and Grayson, wildcat, white men were warned to leave before it get dark, to the headquarters of the various Indian nations, offered a high level of degree and support that allowed them to survive into the present day. Indian nations, Managa. Indian nations, salute. But there's more. We got to remember Tulsa, especially when we talking about rich Creek Negro Indians in Oklahoma and all over Oklahoma, all these Negro Indian towns. We can't leave out Tulsa. Tulsa, while they in the house, salute tribe, but we know Tulsa the most famous. It's the most famous because the one they successfully blew up, right? The white man love to brag about that one. He got to try to call you an African slave though. The promise of Oklahoma. How the push for statehood led a beacon of racial progress to oppression and violence. Now, how the push for making Oklahoma a state lead a racial oppression and violence? Think about that. They colonizing America, the United States in particular. They trying to survey Oklahoma, say, yeah, we'll make this some unsettled land, right? It become a race matter, black and white. Who was there? In October 1907, 11 black leaders from the Twin Territories out on the frontier traveled to Washington, D.C. in a last-ditch effort to prevent Oklahoma from becoming a state. Who stood in the way of Oklahoma becoming a state in their land on their territory? Was it the red man? Was it the $5 Cherokee Indians?
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
No, they didn't exist at the time. You know who was over there? The Negro Creek Indians. They said, we don't want y'all turning our land into some state called Oklahoma. This is the Muskogee Creek Nation and everybody else and all our other tribes. This ain't Oklahoma, this Indian territory. And y'all stole the rest of our land. The nigglets had protested, like we always doing. They said, we don't want Oklahoma from becoming a state. Among them were A.G.W. Sango, a prominent real estate investor who wanted to draw more black people out west. W.H. Twine, a newspaper editor whose weekly Muskogee Scimitar. Look at this nigga. This Twine nigga named Twine. He got a newspaper called the Muskogee Scimitar. They want to tell you who an African American. That nigga is a nigga Indian. He had been mounting a forceful opposition. He was mounting he said, this ain't him. You know, Twine from the Muskogee Scimitar. He said, bitch, this Creek Nation. This ain't no Oklahoma. He said, ML, for you come out here, you better be gone before it get dark or else. And I've been mounting a forceful opposition campaign against statehood for weeks. And J. Cootie Johnson, a lawyer who was a member of the Creek Nation, you know he was a niglet, and had served in its legislature in the town of Okmulgee, These men, a salute to Okmulgee Nation. Hey, salute the Nagas in Okmulgee, Georgia too. These men had carved unlikely paths to success on the outskirts of America, where the nation's racial hierarchy had not yet fully calcified. But they feared that when Indian Territory and Oklahoma Territory were combined to form a new state, wealthy Negroes are denied the right of franchise by the act of the new state. Largest Negro population in the Creek Nation, right? These men had carved unlikely paths to success on the outskirts of America, where the nation's racial hierarchy had not yet calcified. But they feared that when Indian Territory and Oklahoma Territory were combined to form the new state, Jim Crow laws would thrust black people would again. It ain't the first time. They said, here we go again. Here these crackers come again. Would again thrust black people under the heel of white supremacy. The men needed help to prevent that from happening. They hoped to find an ally in President Roosevelt. He was a member of their own Republican. He was a member of who Republican Party? The Niggles Republican Party. See, y'all, it's so many people so fooled out here today, voting for the KKK and all this old stupid shit. They hoped to find an ally in Roosevelt. He was a member of the Niggles Republican Party and had signaled that he would veto any state constitution that included Jim Crow discrimination. Over the course of a few days, the delegation met with the U.S. Attorney General, the Secretary of the Interior, and finally the President himself. Details of the exchange are unknown, but the group must have told Roosevelt how Oklahoma legislators plan to institutionalize segregation, including banning black people from the white train cars, keeping them out of white schools, and preventing them from voting. Some of the white residents of the territories wanted to do worse, like they wanted to blow up Tulsa, right? These black men had no say in drafting the state constitution, and it's on their own land, and they didn't have the numbers to vote it down at the ballot box. So they say, right? But they gave you a 3/5 compromise, told you was 3/5 of a man because they knew you outnumbered everybody. They couldn't even say you was a whole person because the numbers don't lie. But they thought Roosevelt might recognize that Oklahoma did not deserve to become a ward appendage of the Deep South, when it could be so much more, when it had been so much more. The delegation left Washington feeling optimistic. The work has been done, Twine reported in the Muskogee Creek Scimitar, his newspaper. And eagerly our results awaited. Black people arrived in Oklahoma long before the prospect of statehood. A long time before it became a state. A long, with a whole bunch of O's. A long time before statehood. Not the red man. The red man was nowhere in sight. Black people, not red people. Not the fakers. The first to settle in the area. We're enslaved. Look, they see you being there first. Now they got, well, it had to be Indian slaves. Stupid. And they made the journey in the 1830s as hunters, nurses, and cooks. And see, I'm gonna tell y'all something else too about this Trail of Tears, because we're gonna break that down too. Do we even believe the Trail of Tears? Let's start right there. Salute. Because I can't picture none of you Nagas walking from Florida to Oklahoma. I'm not dumb.
You big dummy.
You Nagas was already in Oklahoma. You are already in Indian Territory. They want to lie talking about Nagas walk. They made Nagas walk from Georgia. That's worse than talking about you brought Nagas across the damn ocean in a sailboat on a packed ass ship. That's just as stupid. Walking from Florida to Oklahoma. You Nagas don't even want to walk to the store right now. Talking about walk, you don't even want to walk a couple blocks to the store. Talking about walking to Oklahoma. Is you Nagas stupid? You gonna let them tell you stupid ass lies they made you walk to Oklahoma? You see how conveniently they made you get there? Yeah, you walked to Oklahoma. Bitch, we was already in Oklahoma. Fuck wrong with these stupid ass people. They think everybody's stupid. They think everybody just brainwash TV and don't think for themselves. Walking to Oklahoma, I wish I would. They coming with the hijack. In Indian Territory, much of the day's eastern Oklahoma slavery is practiced by the Creek. The niggas practicing slavery. Y'all can read the rest of this. I ain't really into reading fairy tales. I'm grown. Black tribal members who were classified as free. How they tribal members? You got it, man. This is a cover up, man. This is pathetic cover up. This is very poor cover up. Let's talk about Twine, who had the Muskogee Creek senator, who had his newspaper. Let's talk about this nigga, who was adamantly against Oklahoma becoming a state. You know, the one they call the African slave freeman. Let's see about it. In the Oklahoma Historical Society, lawyer and crusading editor of the Muskogee Senator, William Henry Twine, 1864 to 1933, known as the Black Tiger. Who, the Black Zulu? No, the Black Tiger. Like Red Fox, you know, Black Tiger, you know, these Indian names. William Henry Twine, real name was Black Tiger. Just like Tuscaloosa, the Black Warrior, was born December 10th, 1864 in Red House, Madison County, Kentucky, to Thomas J. and Lizzle Twine. Thomas Twine, look, this nigga, they want to call him a runaway slave. He escaped slavery and married an Indian, I guess. Talking about who was part African American, part American. This nigga was an Indian. He worked as a wheelwright and constructed wagons. Lizzie described as being a straight-born African. His mama must have been very black. You know what I'm saying? His daddy might have been light-skinned or something. These people playing games. They a straight-born African. From where? From where? All right. If she described as being a straight-born African, Africa is a continent. You got to give me a country, which we know you can't do, which is all a lie. Was a renowned baker. She know how to cook. See, boy, niggas love them women that know how to cook, ladies. Y'all better get in that kitchen, ladies. I don't know what y'all was doing, boy. I know my sisters, both of my sisters married. I know back in the day, I remember we were little, boy. Both of my sisters, they used to stay up in the kitchen under my grandma and under my mama. They were learning how to work them pots. Both of them got a husband. You know what I'm saying? They got a husband out the deal. I mean, these girls talking about they don't cook and clean. I was like, what the hell wrong with you? You don't cook and you don't clean. You on your own with that one. You know what I'm saying? I don't cook. Man, everybody supposed to cook and clean. Especially women. You know what I'm saying? I told my mama one day, I was at my mama's house working on my sister's car, actually. At my mama's house, helping my sister out, working on her car. Came in the house, all over my hands. You know what I'm saying? I was about to hit the refrigerator and get me a water. She said, wash your hands. I said, yeah, you right. I say, see, this why men ain't supposed to be cooking.
You big dummy.
Not for the family. Not for real, though. I can cook, though, for real. I can cook, though. Don't get it twisted. Wash these hands with that. Get in that motherfucker. Yeah, I can cook, though. Don't get it twisted. But yeah, Twine mama knew how to cook. That's how his daddy found her. His daddy say, the Lord say, when you find a wife, you find a good thing. Especially if she can cook. They say she was a renowned baker. She was renowned. That's like my grandma was a renowned cook. Like my grandma, everybody used to want to come to my grandma's house to get some food. We used to be like, y'all don't take y'all little monkey ass. Don't your mama cook, nigga? She encouraged sales of her goods by cooking prizes in them, such as rings, for the customers to find. Soon after emancipation, the Twine family moved from Kentucky to Xenia, Ohio. Young William Twine received his education in Xenia, and after he graduated, he began a teaching career in Richmond, Indiana. He later moved to Mexia, Texas. He moved to Mexia, Texas to teach. He was a teacher like Blackjack. Then he married Mittie Elmira Richardson in 1889, and their union would produce 6 sons. Damn, they were fruitful. That boy got 6 boys. He got 6 little nigglets. Ain't that some shit?
Niglet.
I wish I had 6 sons. Boy, if I had 6 sons, that'd be the 6 kings, boy. I'd go hard, boy. 6 sons? Man, he was blessed. The Most High blessed. He must have been a good man. The Most High blessed the shit out of him. That boy, I bet they all had the same shaped head. You know how a nigga be having a bunch of sons, all of them look alike. I got a homeboy. This nigga got about 11 children. He got about 8 sons. All the niggas' sons got the same name. He gave him his name. All of them named Nando. I say, man, how all your sons got your name, bro? It ain't like they all from different mamas. Most of them from the same mama. And they got the same name. I say, this is crazy. But that's what niggas do. That's what they was doing. That's another reason why people have trouble on their family tree. They be pulling up duplicates names, but it be different dates. You might pull up like say you got a William Twine in your family. That mother born in 1834. Then you pull up another William Twine in Oklahoma, born in 1874. And you like, dang, it's the same thing. And them your people. They just be repeating names, like the Israelites always do. The tribe of Jacob always repeat names. Fool. You better understand your history, fool. I had 6 sons though. On September 22nd, 1891, the Twines were among 20,000 who made the Sac and Foxland run into Oklahoma territory. Hey, I be hearing a lot of sisters today. They be like, man, we unprotected. You ain't got 6 sons, boy. Boy, I wish I would. My mama got 2 sons. She well protected. But I wish they would play with my mama. They lady got 6 sons. Boy, you been out. You know how like the sons be crazy about their mama. The son to kill you by his mama. Not that little boy and what that was. Not that long ago in Iraq in Chicago. The dude put his hand on his mama. The little young boy came back in there with the strap, laid him down, and he didn't get no punishment. Salute. Hey, little boys. These ladies do. I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all want some protection, you better have 6 sons. Say, on September 22nd, 1891, the Twines were among 20,000 who made the Sac and Fox land run. Look, the Sac and Fox land run into Oklahoma territory. Twine's 160-acre homestead. That nigga had 160 acres. God. Man, I wouldn't mind just having 1 acre. One of them acres in Indian territory. He had 160. It was near Chandler, where he taught school. He was admitted to the Oklahoma. This is how you know the Naga was a chief, man. This Naga got 160 acres. He teaching the tribe. You don't really got to tell me too much for me to see what's going on here. And I got 6 sons. This Naga a chief somehow. They just ain't telling us this. They ain't telling us he got a 160-acre homestead. That Naga was a chief. Naga named Black Tiger. He was admitted to the Oklahoma Territory bar on October 31st, 1891. It wasn't even called the Oklahoma Territory bar because Oklahoma ain't become a state to 1907. He was admitted to the bar. Wait a minute, how many? 15 years before Oklahoma became a state, huh? And this nigga single-handedly organized the territory's first black law firm with partners G.W.F. Salner, not the first red law firm, the first black one. It wasn't no red ones. And E.I. Sadler in 1887. The family moved to Guthrie. And they moved out there to Guthrie. See, I keep stressing the fact that it ain't no red this and no red that for a reason. Because I know that, for one, I know they in here watching. And I'm tired of them lying and hijacking and trying to steal our history. And try to take credit for what if it ain't them, it's the Africans trying to take credit for what our ancestors have done. Trying to take credit. We got fake red men trying to call themselves Creek and take credit for what the Creek Negro Indians have done. And we got fake African ass booty scratchers talking about, yeah, them niggas from Africa. No, we ain't. Y'all ain't did nothing we did. Y'all ain't got an old make head over there. Ain't nothing come from over there. But Amoco gas stations.
You big dummy.
Hey, family.
Soon, however, Twine moved his family. Wait a minute, hold on, I skipped something. In 1894, the work of the Dawes Commission, see, here come the fakers,
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Attracted a number of lawyers to Indian Territory. Look at it, the Dawes Commission bringing lawyers. What they bringing lawyers for? White lawyers? And Twine soon moved his family to the Muskogee area. They joined a new settlement that was growing on land belonging to John Rector, a Creek. located 1 mile east of present Taft. This community was named in honor of Twine. See, a lot of people don't know. I jumped in the Twine and Taft and the Twine because Taft actually used to be called the town of Twine. Yeah, Mr. Twine was definitely the chief. They changed the name to Taft. Located 1 mile east of present-day Taft, this community was named in honor of Twine. It was called Twine. Soon, however, Twine moved his family to Muskogee and practiced law on North Main Street. Eventually, he built a brick office building on South 2nd Street. They talking about knockers don't build. Whew. I wish a knocker would get in my face talking about knockers don't build. This knocker built the whole brick office. He did it single-handedly. He didn't have no machines. He was out there laying bricks hand by hand. On South 2nd Street, the house, his office in a newspaper, as well as other law offices, a doctor's offices, a real estate office, and this knocker was a high-value man. This knocker had all these offices. He had a newspaper. This knocker was a lawyer. Though his law practice in newspaper, Twine defended the rights of the community's Creek Indians. From 1898 to 1904, he edited the Pioneer paper, his second newspaper. He didn't call that paper African American paper. He called it the Muskogee Creek paper. His second newspaper, which he published from 1904 to 1921, was the Muskogee Scimitar. He helped the Muskogees, not the African Americans. Ain't no such thing as African American. These nigglets were Muskogees. Twine became active in the Republican Party, which was the majority party by a small margin in the territorial government. Due to its sponsorship of Jim Crow laws, the Democrats was perceived to be racist, the biggest impediment to first-class citizenship for Creeks in the Twin Territories. Look at that. Due to sponsoring, who sponsored the Jim Crow laws? Kamala Harris and the Democrats, bitch.
You big dummy.
Who sponsored Jim Crow? Who sponsored them Jim Crow laws and were locking niggas up, hiding evidence and all kind of shit? The Democrats and Kamala, Killer Cam. It's like, where we at? All right, this not gonna be throwing stuff in the store. Hey, it's a do this sponsorship. Okay, the Republican Lily Whites, however, hope to increase their sway over the government by disassociating their party from its African American supporters, who the creators, the Negroes, created the Republican Party. That's what people don't know. Like, people be talking about the Republicans, they just more people that want to be us. Basically, the first Republican Party was nigglets. People gotta learn history, man. These Republicans often would side with the Democrats in supporting segregation. See, the white Republicans were siding with the Democrats in supporting segregation in order to political and legal, in order to show that they were just as white as the Democrats. Look at that! Wow. These Republicans often would side with the Democrats in supporting segregation in order to show that they were just as white as the Democrats. Blacks of the two territories had to use every available political and legal tool to fight segregation and discrimination. The black community's most powerful weapon in this struggle was their newspaper and the court system. Wow. You knockers' most powerful weapon was the newspaper and the court system. Ain't that funny? Newspaper and the legal system. This is amazing. This is very interesting. I hope you guys read this and share it. In 1905, the Sequoia. Look at that, the Sequoia Indian tribe. The Sequoia. I know. I went to school with a girl named Sequoia back in the day. That was one of my homeboy. That's my homeboy. Bobby. That's Bobby baby mama. Sequoia. Sequoia had a baby from Bobby. My homeboy Bobby. In 1905, I ain't never met no white lady named Sequoia. The only person I ever met named Sequoia was a little niglet. You know what I'm saying? Salute, hey, shout out Sequoia right now. I ain't gonna even say your last name, Sequoia. In 1905, the Sequoia Convention was held to promote statehood for Indian Territory. In a July 20 of 1905 Scimitar article, Twine complained that politicians courted the black vote when it was needed. Oh shit, don't this sound familiar? But when blacks wanted to represent themselves as Creek Indians, politicians ignored them. No Creek Indians were selected for the single statehood convention held July 12, 1905 in Oklahoma City. Twine and W.A. Renty called blacks to hold a separate convention in Muskogee Creek Nation on August 21st, 1905 due to their exclusion from the Dawes Roll and the previous conventions. The Scimitar reported that on December 5th, 1906, 300 black delegates attended a second convention and demanded that the Guthrie Constitutional Convention make no laws that would restrict Negro Creek Indians' rights and privileges. The Negro Protective League of Oklahoma and Indian Territories called for yet another convention to be held April 20, 1907. During that assembly, the delegates resolved to condemn the new state constitution because of its Jim Crow provisions and urged Negro Creeks in both territories to oppose it. Realizing that the Lily White forces had captured the Republic, they stole the Republican Party. Twine and others opposed statehood with a W.G. Sango and other prominent Negro Indians leaders. He traveled to Washington, D.C. and met with President Theodore Roosevelt. They hoped to convince him to overrule Oklahoma statehood because of the Constitution's rejection of civil rights. However, on November 16, 1907, Oklahoma became the 46th state, and the very first measure passed by the Lily White legislature, Senator Bill No. 1, established segregation on railway cars. As a result, Twine and Rental, who was president of the anti-Jim Crow League, filed suit. See, you got disenfranchised on your own land. On your own land. And no matter if you were rich, you was still a nigga. You was got denied the right of franchise by the act of the new state. These and other civil rights battles involving Twine drew the attention of the so-called White Caps, or the Ku Klux Klan. For 3 years, his life was constantly threatened. When the Klan wrote him a letter explaining what they were going to do to him, he was defiant. He said, shit, bring your ass to Twine then. Come to Wildcat and see what happened to you.
You big dummy.
He was defiant. He didn't give a fuck. He said, come do it then. Pull up. He dropped the location. He said, bitch, I'm in Wildcat. Pull up. He printed it and responded that he would not avoid a fight. I ain't running. He go to low. Drop the low. Come do it. Do it like Young and Ace them say. Come do it then. Hey, he pointed out, he's scared of the KKK. He said, man, y'all scared of us. He said, come on Taft then. Bet you be going before you get dark. He printed it and responded that he would not avoid a fight and that he and his 6 sons would walk to his office at 9 o'clock every morning. And I dare a colonizer pull up. I dare you. I dare you pull up. We walking. We dropping the low. We dropping the low. We walking to work every morning. Me and all my sons. We well protected. Pull up then. Hey, Nicky Sunflower in the house. Pull up. Talking about Ku Klux Klan. Look at this, a stronghold on the nozzle. What you talking about? What you gonna do to us? Pull up then. Pull up and see one bad news beat your ass home. He said we walking to work. We walking to the office every morning, bitch. I own the office. After nearly 2 decades of walking to work every morning and editing the newspaper, the Ku Klux Klan ain't never show up. The Muskogee Scimitar, he retired from publishing in 1921, but continued his law practice. William H. Twine died in Muskogee on October 18, 1933, and nothing ever happened. The Ku Klux Klan ain't do a damn thing.
You big dummy.
Biatch.
They
Now,
ain't
who
on no
sent you
problem
here?
for real. They knew what time it was.
Your $5 ass down before I make
You
change.
making these old weak ass threats. Nobody scared of no faggot ass KKK. Fuck the Ku Klux Klan. Them a bunch of fags. Taft, Oklahoma, 1940, formerly known as Twine, named after the great chief William Twine, who was never scared. William Twine wasn't never scared, bitch. Never scared. Never scared, ever. Man, we gonna keep breaking down Indian territory, man. I know I'm pissing people off. I be animated for a reason, y'all. I already know. People like this nigga. I know I be shooting myself in the foot being too animated sometimes.